쇼카트
알록달록 동화 뚝딱
Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a nice, pretty girl in a village. The girl's mother died when she was young, so she lived with her father. One day, a stepmother and two older sisters came to live with them. The girl was happy to have a mother and sisters. But the stepmother and sisters were very mean. A few years later, the girl's father died too. And the stepmother and sisters became even meaner to the girl.
Cinderella, the kitchen! Cinderella! Cinderella, do the laundry!
They nicknamed her Cinderella to make fun of her for being covered in ashes. One day, they heard there would be a royal ball at the castle.
Cinderella, bring me my dress! Cinderella, make my hair prettier!
Cinderella was so busy that her head started swirling. The stepmother and sisters were all dressed up and left for the royal ball in a carriage. I want to go to the ball too. Cinderella was very sad. Then suddenly, a fairy grandmother appeared out of nowhere. The fairy grandmother smiled at her and said,
Can you please find me a big pumpkin, a mouse, and a lizard?
Sure, I'll bring them for you. The fairy grandmother twirled her magic wand. Oh goodness! The big pumpkin turned into a golden carriage. The tiny mouse turned into a majestic horse. And the speedy lizard turned into a strapping horseman. Cinderella was also wearing a beautiful dress.
These glass slippers are a gift to you. You must remember, Cinderella. Everything will turn back to how it was at midnight. So, you must come back home before then. Do not forget.
Yes, fairy grandmother. Thank you so much. Cinderella arrived at the ball and was dazzlingly beautiful. People couldn't take their eyes off of her. The prince asked Cinderella for a dance. Throughout the ball, Cinderella danced with the prince. The clock struck midnight. Cinderella ran from the prince and left the ball to keep her promise to the fairy grandmother. The prince chased after her. But Cinderella had already left in the carriage. There was only a single glass slipper on the stairs.
Make sure to find the owner of this glass slipper.
The prince searched everywhere for the owner of the glass slipper. He finally arrived at Cinderella's house. The two sisters tried to force on the glass slipper, but it didn't fit them. The prince discovered Cinderella standing afar.
Please, try on this glass slipper too.
The glass slipper fit Cinderella's foot perfectly. The stepmother and sisters were so surprised that they were at a loss for words. The prince was overjoyed. Cinderella lived happily ever after with the prince.